to the top, really. And you can imagine as they go from the bottom to the top that it's around different layers of impact. At this very first level of impact of being an entrepreneur is what we call a professional. A professional. This is the doctor, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. It's the person who has a specialized skill, and they use that specialized skill to typically deliver a service, but not exclusively. Sometimes they'll sell a product. But typically what they'll do is they'll deliver a service which is based on their specialized skill or knowledge. It'll be the accountant who works as an accountant, the lawyer who works as a lawyer. And so for sure they are an entrepreneur, but what they actually are is the kind of entrepreneur that is a professional. And one of the things that you can tell they do is they spend a lot of their time looking for new clients. And so in their world, business development and building the business is a big part of what they actually look for. So they spend time acquiring clients, they spend time trying to build and scale their customer base, because at this stage of entrepreneurship, the most important focus for this entrepreneur is making sure that their income exceeds their expenses. And so many people who operate as professionals typically wonder why they find it difficult to scale their businesses or to take their businesses and their practices to the next level. There are several reasons for this, but not the least of which is that often what happens is at the instance at which income exceeds their expenses, they will also push up their lifestyles. And so we tend to batch them into something called lifestyle entrepreneurs. So they'll drive a better car, they'll move to a better suburb, they'll send the kids to a better school, their life will change. And so as a consequence, the equity that is generated in this business, if you think about your balance sheet, right, assets, liabilities, and the difference, as they're growing their asset base, the equity that is generated goes into feeding typically their lifestyle. It's not always the case, but it's often